Hi everyone, welcome to One Stop Mathematical Solution. Today we are going to solve CSIR Net Mathematics June 2015 question paper. In this video we have only dealt with the linear algebra part. First we'll look into the part B questions. Question 22. Let V be the space of all twice differentiable functions on R satisfying f double prime minus 2f prime plus f is equal to 0. Define t from v to r square by t of f is equal to f prime of 0, f of 0, then t is. So we are given a space of twice differentiable function which satisfies this equation, and the transformation on v is given by this equation. Then we have to find which of the following satisfies the property of t. First we look into the concept used. Y prime of x plus a y prime of x plus b y of x is equal to 0 has auxiliary equation m square plus am plus b is equal to 0. If auxiliary equation has a double root lambda, then solution is given by y is equal to c1 e power lambda x plus c2 x e power lambda x. Wronskian of two functions y1 y2 is given by w of y1 y2 is equal to determinant of y1 y2 y1 prime y2 prime. If Wronskian of y1 y2 is non-zero, then y1 y2 are linearly independent. Basis of a vector space is a set of vectors that spans every vector of vector space and is also a linearly independent set. Linear transformation T is invertible if and only if T is both 1, 1 and onto. So now we'll move on to the question. So they are given V is a space of all twice differentiable function which satisfies this equation. So consider that equation f double prime minus 2f prime plus f is equal to 0. So write its auxiliary equation using the concept 1. So that is m square minus 2m plus 1 is equal to 0. This is the expansion of m minus 1 whole square equal to 0. So this implies m is equal to 1, 1. Therefore the auxiliary equation has double root 1. Therefore f of t can be written as c1 e power t plus c2 t e power t. That is, V consists of functions f such that f can be written as a linear combination of e power t and t e power t. That is, e power t and t e power t spans the function f in V. So now we'll check whether e power t and t e power t are linearly independent. For that I am using the Wronskian. So Wronskian of e power t, t e power t is equal to determinant of e power t, differentiation of e power t, that is e power t, t e power t, then differentiation of t e power t, that is e power t plus t e power t. So when we find the determinant, that is equal to e power 2t, which is a non-zero number. Therefore Wronskian is non-zero. Therefore e power t, t e power t is linearly independent. So it is satisfying both the conditions of basis. Therefore e power t, t e power t is the basis of V. They have also given t of f is equal to f prime of 0, f of 0. So first find t of e power t, which is equal to e power 0, e power 0, that is equal to 1, 1. So write this as the linear combination of standard basis of R2. So that is equal to 1 into 1, 0 plus 1 into 0, 1. Similarly find it for t of t e power t. So when we find that, that is equal to 1 into 1, 0 plus 0 into 0, 1. Now write the matrix representation of t. That is, t is equal to 1, 1, 1, 0. So when we find the determinant of this matrix, we are getting it is a non-zero number. Therefore t is invertible. So using the last concept, we get t is both 1, 1 and onto. So now we'll check the correct option. So the correct option is first one. Next question, question 27. Let A, B be n cross n matrices. Which of the following equals trace of A square, B square? So they are given two matrices. We have to find which of the options equals trace of A square, B square. We look into the concept used. Trace of AB is equal to trace of BA. So now consider trace of A square, B square. I am splitting open this square term. So this is equal to trace of AA, BB. So we know AB trace is equal to trace of BA. So trace of AABB is equal to change this B to the first position. So this is equal to trace of BAAB. Again now change this B to the first position. So this is equal to trace of BBAA. Now change this A to the first position. So this is equal to trace of ABBA. Again change this position to the first position. This is equal to trace of AABB. That is trace of A square B square, which is equal to the given question. So now we can stop that. So find which of the option is matching any one of these. So when we match that, we are getting that is equal to trace of AB square A. So the second option is correct. Next question, question 28. Let A be an M cross N matrix of rank n with real entries. Choose the correct statement. So they are given a matrix A here whose rank is given. We have to find which of the option is true. We'll look into the concept used. System AX equal to B has a solution if and only if rank of A is to B is equal to rank of A. It is a unique solution if rank of A is to B is equal to rank of A equal to the number of variables. Infinite solution if rank of A is to B is equal to rank of A is less than number of variables. System has no solution if and only if rank of A is to B not equal to rank of A. Note that homogeneous system A is equal to 0 always have a solution. Note 2, if B can be written as a linear combination of row vectors of A, then only solution exists. So now we'll move on to the question. So they are given A to B an M cross N matrix of rank n with n real entries. So M is the number of equation and n is the number of variables. So rank of A is equal to n. So now we'll check the options one by one. First option, Ax equal to B has a solution for any B. So consider Ax equal to B has a solution for any B. Implies that B can be written as a linear combination of rows of A. Now B is an M cross N vector. So we require at most M vectors for writing it as a linear combination of rows of A. But we have only n vectors and n is less than or equal to m since rank of A is equal to minimum of m comma n. So we cannot express B when n is not equal to m. Therefore it has a solution for any B is not possible. So option 1 is wrong. Option 2, Ax equal to 0 does not have a solution. We already saw that a homogeneous system always have a solution. So this option is wrong. Third option, if Ax equal to B has a solution, then it is unique. Now Ax equal to B has a solution implies rank of A is to B is equal to rank of A, and we already got rank of A is equal to n and n is the number of variables. So using concept, Ax equal to B has unique solution. So this option is correct. So fourth option is y transpose A is equal to 0 for some non-zero y where y transpose denotes the transpose of vector y. So now consider y transpose A equal to 0. Take transpose on both sides. So this is y transpose A whole transpose equal to 0, which implies A transpose y equal to 0 using the properties of transpose. So we know A is an M cross N matrix. So A transpose is N cross M matrix. So A transpose N cross M y M cross 1 equal to 0 has a solution if rank of A transpose is less than M. It cannot be equal to M. If it is equal, then we should have a unique solution. Unique solution means y is equal to 0, but it is contradicting to our assumption. So rank should be less than M. We know rank of A transpose is equal to rank of A. So this has a solution if rank of A is less than M. We already got rank of A is equal to N. So this has a solution if N is less than M. But there is no strict condition that N is less than M. We got N is less than or equal to M. So this is not necessarily true. So option 4 is wrong. So we'll check the correct option. So the correct option is third one. Next question, question 30. Let T be a 4 cross form real matrix such that T per 4 is equal to 0. Let Ki is equal to dimension kernel Ti for 1 less than or equal to I less than or equal to 4. Which of the following is not a possibility for the sequence K1 less than or equal to K2 less than or equal to K3 less than or equal to K4? So we have given a T matrix here which satisfies this equation. Ki is defined like this. Then we have to find which of the sequence is not possible. So we look into the concept used. Minimal polynomial divides characteristic polynomial. Minimal polynomial is the least degree monic polynomial that matrix satisfies. Now we'll see what is Jordan canonical form. Characteristic polynomial delta of t is given by t minus lambda 1 whole power n1, t minus lambda 2 whole power n2, etc. up to t minus lambda k whole power nk. And minimal polynomial m of t is equal to t minus lambda 1 whole power m1, t minus lambda 2 whole power m2, etc. up to t minus lambda k whole power mk, where mi less than or equal to ni for each I. Then there exists at least one Jordan block of order mi, and all other Jordan block have order less than or equal to mi. Sum of order of Jordan block is equal to ni, which is the algebraic multiplicity of lambda I, and the number of Jordan block will be the geometric multiplicity of lambda I. Now we'll move on to the question. So they are given T to be a 4 cross 4 real matrix such that T power 4 is equal to 0, and Ki is equal to dimension kernel Ti for 1 less than or equal to I less than or equal to 4. So we have to check the sequence K1 less than or equal to K2 less than or equal to K3 less than or equal to K4, where K1 is the dimension of kernel T1, K2 is the dimension of kernel T square, K3 is the dimension of kernel T cube, K4 is the dimension of kernel T power 4. Now consider T power 4 is equal to 0. So this implies characteristic polynomial is equal to x power 4. And the roots of characteristic polynomial is 0, which is the eigenvalue. Now minimal polynomial possibilities are x, x square, x cube, x power 4, since minimal polynomial divides characteristic polynomial. Suppose if I take minimal polynomial as x, then we have a Jordan block of order 1. And all other Jordan block will be less than or equal to 1. We have order to be a positive quantity, so all other blocks will be also equal to 1. So the Jordan canonical form of T is given by this. So this implies T square, T cube, T power 4 is equal to 0. We know dimension of kernel T is the number of 0 rows in T. So K1 is equal to 4. Similarly, K2 is equal to number of 0 rows in T square, that is equal to 4. K3 is the number of 0 rows in T cube, that is equal to 4. K4 is the number of 0 rows in T4, so that is also equal to 4. So here we get the sequence as 4 less than or equal to 4 less than or equal to 4. Now suppose minimal polynomial is x square. So we have a block of order 2 and all other blocks will be of order less than or equal to 2. So we have two cases here. One case is like all other blocks of order 1 and all other blocks are of order 2. So we have first case, then T is equal to given by this matrix. Here we have a 2 by 2 order block and all other blocks are of order 1. So this implies T square, T cube, T power 4 is equal to 0. Hence K1 is equal to 3, the number of non-zero rows in T. K2 is equal to 4, K3 is equal to 4, K4 is equal to 4. So sequence we got it as 3 less than or equal to 4 less than or equal to 4 less than or equal to 4. Now case 2 here, T is equal to a block of order 2 and other block of order 2. So this implies T square, T cube, T power 4 is equal to 0. Hence K1 is equal to 2, K2 is equal to 4, K3 is equal to 4, K4 is equal to 4. So the sequence we got it as 2 less than or equal to 4 less than or equal to 4 less than or equal to 4. Now suppose minimal polynomial is x cube. So we have a block of order 3 and all other blocks will be of order less than or equal to 3. So in this case we have all other blocks of order 1. Since we have to get the sum of blocks should be equal to 4. So T is of the form this. So T square is of matrix of form this. And T cube, T power 4 is a 0 matrix. Hence K1 is 2, K2 is 3, K3 is 4, K4 is 4. So sequence we got it as 2 less than or equal to 3 less than or equal to 4 less than or equal to 4. Suppose minimal polynomial is x power 4. So we have a block of order 4. So T is equal to given by this matrix. T square is given by this matrix. T cube is this matrix, and T power 4 is equal to the 0 matrix. Hence K1 is equal to 1, K2 is equal to 2, K3 is equal to 3, and K4 is equal to 4. Hence the sequence is 1 less than or equal to 2 less than or equal to 3 less than or equal to 4. So now we'll look the options. So they have asked which of the sequence is not possible. So we got the answer as 2. Next question, question 31. Given a 4 cross 4 matrix, let T from R4 to R4 be a linear transformation defined by TV is equal to AV, for which choices of A given below to image of T and image of T square as respective dimensions 2 and 1. Star denotes a non-zero entry. So they have defined a linear transformation here based on the matrix A. So we have to find which of the following options have the dimension of image of T as 2 and dimension of image of T square as 1. So now we'll look into the concept used. T from U to V be a linear transformation, then dimension of image of T is nothing but the rank of the linear transformation. So now we'll move on to the question. So they are given T of V is equal to AV. So the properties of the matrix A is equivalent to the properties of the linear transformation. So now we'll check the options one by one. So they are given A to be this matrix where star denotes the non-zero entries. So if we note that rank is equal to the number of non-zero linearly independent rows or linearly independent columns. So here we have 2 linearly independent columns. So rank of A is equal to 2. Therefore rank of T is also 2. That is dimension of image of T is equal to 2 here. So find A square here, multiply A twice. So we'll get the matrix like this. So here we get only one linearly independent row. So rank of A square is 1. Therefore rank of T square equal to 1. Similarly check it for the other options. So for the second option, I'm getting rank of A 2, so implies rank of T is 2, and rank of A square is 1, and rank of T square is 1. Similarly, check it for third option. For third option, I'm getting rank of T is equal to 2, and rank of T square is 2. And for the fourth option also, I'm getting rank of T is equal to 2, rank of T square is equal to 2. So now we'll check the correct option. So the correct options are 1 and 2. Next question, question 32. Which of the following is a linear transformation from R3 to R square? First one, f of xyz is equal to 4x plus y. Second one, g of xyz is equal to xy x plus y. Third one, h of xyz is equal to z minus x x plus y. So we have to find which of them are linear transformation. So we look into the concept used. For a linear transformation, T of 0 is equal to 0 always, and the function always should be a linear function. So we look into the question now. So f of xyz is equal to 4x plus y. So if we note that f of 0 should be 0 here, but here we are getting f of 0 0 is equal to 4 comma 0. So f cannot be a linear transformation. And g of xyz is equal to xy x plus y. Here g has an image xy which is not a linear term. So it cannot be a linear transformation. So only h remains as the linear transformation. You can check it for the properties of linear transformation. Anyway, it will satisfy. Here I have not shown that. So now we'll check the correct option. So the correct option is third one. Now we'll move on to the part C questions. Question 71. Let S be the set of 3 cross 3 real matrices A with A transpose A is equal to 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. Then the set contains. So we are defining the set S here using the matrix A. Then we have to check which of the following option is contained in S. We look into the concept used. Rank of A transpose A is equal to rank of A. A is nilpotent if A power k is equal to 0 for some k belongs to n. and rank of non-zero skew-symmetric matrix is always at least 2. Now we'll move on to the question. So given S is equal to set of all A in M3 of R such that A transpose A is equal to this matrix. So now we have rank of A transpose A is equal to 1. Therefore, using concept 1, rank of A is equal to 1. That is, S contains matrices of rank 1. So we'll look into the options one by one. First option, S contains a nilpotent matrix. So we have A is equal to 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 belongs to S because it satisfies the condition. And we see that A square is equal to 0. Therefore, A is nilpotent. So S contains a nilpotent matrix. Hence, option 1 is true. In one, we'll check the other options. S contains a matrix of rank 1. That is true. Third one is wrong because it contains only matrices of rank 1. Now S contains a non-zero skew-symmetric matrix, which is not possible because rank of any non-zero skew-symmetric matrix is at least 2. So the correct options are 1 and 2. Next question, question 72. Let S from Rn to Rn be given by S of V is equal to alpha V for a fixed alpha in R. Alpha is non-zero. Let T from Rn to Rn be a linear transformation such that B is equal to set of all V1, V2, etc. up to Vn is a linearly independent set of eigenvectors of T then. So if we note that this question is already done in December 2013, question 74. If you guys have any doubt, go and check in that video. Next question, question 73. Let A is equal to ABC, 0AD, 00A be a 3x3 matrix where A, B, C, D are integers, then we must have. So we have defined a matrix A here. We have to find which of the option is true. We look into the concept used. For an n cross n matrix, characteristic polynomial is given by x power n minus s1, x power n minus 1 plus etc. up to minus 1 whole power n sn, where sk is the sum of all principal minors of order k. Note that s1 is the trace and sn is the determinant. Cayley-Hamilton theorem states that every square matrix satisfies this characteristic polynomial. If for any n cross n matrix A power k is equal to 0 for some k belongs to n, then A power n is equal to 0. Now we'll move on to the question. So they are given the matrix like this. Now we'll check the options one by one. If A is non-zero, there is a polynomial P in Q of x such that P of A is the inverse of A. So we'll check this condition. So from this matrix we can write the characteristic polynomial using the concept 1. So x cube minus 3ax square plus x into a square plus a square plus a square minus a cube, where minus 3a is the determinant, minus 3a is the trace, a square plus a square plus a square is the sum of principal minors of order 2, and minus a cube is the determinant. So this is equal to x cube minus 3ax square plus 3a square x minus a cube. By Cayley-Hamilton theorem, we have a cube minus 3a square plus 3a square a minus a cube I is equal to 0. Now I am taking a cube minus a cube I to this side. So this implies a cube I is equal to a cube minus 3a square plus 3a square a. Now I am multiplying by 1 by a cube to the whole equation. Because a is non-zero, this is possible. So this implies I is equal to 1 by a cube minus 3 into 1 by a square plus 3 into 1 by a into a. Now I am taking a common from this equation. So this implies I is equal to a into 1 by a cube a square minus 3 by 1 by a square a plus 3 into 1 by a I. So if we note that I is equal to a into p of a, where p of a is this equation. That is, we got a, p of a is the inverse of a. So this option is true. Next Option: for each polynomial q in Z of x, the matrix q of A is equal to q of A, q of B, q of C, 0 q of A, q of D, 0 0 q of A. So we'll check that. So let me take a polynomial q is equal to x square. So we have to check q of A is equal to this matrix. So we have q of A is equal to A square from this equation. So we have to multiply A twice. When you multiply, we are getting the matrix like this. So we have to check this is equal to this matrix. And q of A, q of B, q of C, 0 q of A, q of D, 0 0 q of A is equal to q of A means A square, q of B, B square, q of C, C square. So substituting all those, we are seeing that this matrix is not equal to this matrix. So it is not possible that it is always necessary to be equal. So this option is wrong. Next, last option, A commutes with every matrix of the form A prime 0 Z prime 0 A prime 0 0 0 A prime. That is, we have to check whether A into this matrix is equal to this matrix into A. So when we check that, we are getting both are equal. So A is commuting with this matrix. So this option is also true. So now we'll check the correct option. So if we know that third option is like if n equal to 0 for some positive integer n, then a cube equal to 0. This is obvious. It is from the concept third one. So the options are 1, 3 and 4. Next question, question 74. Let Pn of x is equal to x bar n for x belongs to R, and let rho is equal to span of P naught, P1, P2, etc. So we have defined Pn of x by x bar n, and rho is equal to span of Pi's. Then we have to check which of the following options are correct. We look into the concept used. V is equal to span of u1, u2, etc. up to un implies V is equal to a0 plus a1 un plus etc. up to an un. Set of all u1, u2, etc. up to un generates a vector space V if for every V in V, V can be uniquely written as a linear combination of ui's. So now we'll move on to the question. So they are given Pn of x is equal to x bar n and rho is equal to span of P0, P1, P2. We have P0 is equal to 1, P1 is equal to x and P2 is equal to x square. So rho is equal to span of 1x, x square, etc. So this is equal to C0 plus C1x plus C2x square plus etc. So now we'll check the options one by one. Rho is the vector space of all real valued continuous functions on R. That is whether they are asking. So they are asking whether rho generates the vector space of all real valued continuous function. That is, if we take a continuous function, whether we can write it as a linear combinations of 1x, x square, etc. So now I am taking mod x, which is a continuous function on R. Suppose rho generates mod x, then mod x is equal to C0 plus C1x plus C2x cube plus etc. So equating on both sides, we get C0, C2, C3 etc. to be 0. Only C1x is equal to mod x. So this implies C1 is equal to plus or minus 1. This implies that mod x cannot be uniquely written as a linear combination of elements of P, rho. Hence, rho is not a vector space for all real valued continuous function. So option 1 is wrong. Now we'll check the next option. Second option, rho is a subspace of all real valued continuous functions on R. We have rho is equal to C0 plus C1x plus C2x square, which is essentially the polynomial subspace of continuous function. So option 2 is correct. Set of all P0, P1, P2, etc. is a linearly independent set in the vector space of all continuous functions on R. We have set of P0, P1, P2 as a standard basis of polynomial space. Therefore, P0, P1, P2, etc. is a linearly independent set of polynomial space. So option 3 is also correct. Fourth option, trigonometric function belongs to rho. This cannot happen because trigonometric functions are periodic and polynomial are not periodic functions. So now we'll check the correct options. So the correct options are 2 and 3. Next question, question 75. Which of the following are subspaces of the vector space R3? So we have to find which of the options are subspace. For a set to be subspace, 0 should always belong to that set. So if you know that the last two options are not subspaces because 0 doesn't belongs to that set. Suppose if 0 belongs to this set, then 0 plus 0 is equal to 0 and it is not equal to 1. So 0 doesn't belongs to this set. Similarly, you can show that 0 doesn't belongs to this set also. So now we'll check the correct options. So the correct options are obviously 1 and 2. If you have any doubt, you can check the properties of subspace for these two sets. Anyway, it will satisfy both the properties. Next question, question 76. Let A be an invertible 4x for real matrix. Which of the following is or are not correct? So we are given a matrix here which is invertible. Then we have to check which of the following options are incorrect. So we will look into the concept used. A belongs to Mn of R. Rank of A is equal to n if and only if determinant A is non-zero. Rank nullity theorem states that number of columns equal to rank of the matrix plus nullity of the matrix. System Ax equal to B has a solution if rank A is to B is equal to rank A, and is a unique solution if rank of A is to B is equal to rank of A is equal to number of variables, and is an infinite solution if rank of A is to B is equal to rank of A less than number of variables. Note that determinant is equal to product of eigenvalues. So now we'll move on to the question. So they are given A to be invertible 4x for real matrix. So we have determinant A is non-zero, which implies by concept 1 rank of A is equal to 4. By rank nullity theorem, nullity of A is equal to number of columns minus rank. So that is equal to 4 minus 4, that is equal to 0. That is dimension of null space is equal to 0. Since rank of A is equal to 4, which is equal to the number of variables, system Ax equal to B has a unique solution. And if 0 is an eigenvalue, we should get determinant to be 0. And it is contradiction to the statement that determinant A not equal to 0. So now we'll check the incorrect statements. So the incorrect statements are 3rd and 4th. Next question, question 77. Consider a non-zero vector space v1, v2, v3, v4 and linear transformations phi1 from v1 to v2, phi2 from v2 to v3, phi3 from v3 to v4 such that kernel of phi1 is equal to singleton 0, range of phi1 is equal to kernel phi2, range of phi2 is equal to kernel phi3, range of phi3 is equal to 4. Then so we are given non-zero vector space v1, v2, v3, v4 and linear transformations are defined on them which satisfies these conditions. Then we have to check which of the following option is correct. So we look into the concept used. Nullity is equal to the dimension of kernel and rank is equal to the dimension of range space. Rank nullity theorem states that rank plus nullity is equal to dimension of domain. So now we'll move on to the question. So they are given phi1 is a function linear transformation from v1 to v2, phi2 from v2 to v3, phi3 from v3 to v4 such that kernel phi1 is equal to singleton 0, range phi1 is equal to kernel phi2, range phi2 is equal to kernel phi3, range phi3 is equal to v4. Now if you see that kernel phi1 is equal to singleton 0 implies nullity of phi1 is equal to 0. Range phi1 is equal to kernel phi2 implies rank of phi1 is equal to nullity of phi2. Range of phi2 is equal to kernel of phi3 implies rank of phi2 is equal to nullity of phi3. Range of phi3 equal to v4 implies rank of phi3 is equal to dimension of v4. Now if you see that using rank nullity theorem, rank of phi1 plus nullity of phi1 is equal to dimension v1. We have nullity of phi1 is equal to 0. So we get rank of phi1 is equal to dimension v1 and rank of phi1 is equal to nullity of phi2. This implies nullity of phi2 is equal to dimension v1. Similarly for phi2, rank of phi2 plus nullity phi2 is equal to dimension v2. We have rank of phi 2 is equal to nullity phi 3, and using above equation nullity of phi 2 is equal to dimension v1. So this implies nullity phi 3 plus dimension v1 is equal to dimension v2. Also for phi 3, rank of phi 3 plus nullity phi 3 is equal to dimension v3. Rank of phi 3 is dimension v4 and nullity of phi 3 is dimension v2 minus dimension v1. So that is equal to dimension v3. Now taking dimension v3 to this side, this implies minus dimension v1 plus dimension v2 minus dimension v3 plus dimension v4 is equal to 0. Now we will check the options one by one. First option, sigma I is equal to 1 to 4 minus 1 whole power I dimension vi equal to 0. So when we open this is equal to minus dimension v1 plus dimension v2 minus dimension v3 plus dimension v4, and we got this is equal to 0. So this option is correct. Second option, sigma I is equal to 2 to 4 minus 1 whole power I dimension vi greater than 0. So consider this equation. So that is equal to dimension v2 minus dimension v3 plus dimension v4, and this is equal to dimension v1 from this equation, and we know they have given v1 to be non-zero vector space. So dimension v1 is at least 1. So dimension v1 is greater than 0. So this equation is greater than 0. So this option is also true. If you see that option 3 and 4 is the negation of option 1 and 2. So option 3 and 4 is wrong. So the correct options are 1 and 2. Next question, question 78. Let u be a real n cross 1 vector satisfying u dash u is equal to 1, where u dash is the transpose of u. Define A is equal to I minus 2 u dash, where I is the nth order identity matrix. Which of the following are correct? So we are given a vector u here which satisfies this equation, and A is defined based on the vector u. So we are to find which of the options are correct. So now we will look how to do this question. So they are given u to be an n cross 1 vector such that u dash u is equal to 1 and A is equal to I minus 2 u dash. So I am considering the case for n is equal to 3 and generalizing it for the case n. So for n is equal to 3, let me take u is equal to 1 0 0, then u transpose is equal to the row vector 1 0 0, which satisfies u transpose u is equal to 1. So we have u transpose is equal to column vector 1 0 0, row vector 1 0 0. This is equal to 3 cross 3 matrix here. Now A is equal to I minus 2 into u transpose. So this is equal to A minus identity matrix minus 2 into this matrix. So when we simplify this, we are getting A is equal to minus 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 0. Therefore determinant A is equal to minus 1, and A square is equal to identity, and trace of A is equal to 1 for the case n is equal to 3. Therefore trace of A is equal to n minus 2 for the general case n. So now we will check the correct options. So we got determinant A is equal to minus 1, it is not equal to 0, therefore A is non-singular. So option 1 is wrong. We got A square is equal to I. So option 4 is correct and option 2 is wrong. And we got trace of A is equal to n minus 2. So option 3 is correct. So the correct options are 3 and 4.